Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to It's Rainmaking Time. We like to take on complex subjects, and certainly the one we're doing today with Joseph Lumpkin, the author of so many books, the lost books of Christianity, we can say. Let me name a few of them for you. The books of Enoch, Fallen Angels, The Watchers, and the Origins of Evil, the Gnostic Gospels of Philip, Mary Magdalene, and Thomas, the Book of Jubilees, the Little Genesis, the Apocalypse of Moses, banned from the Bible, books banned, rejected, and forbidden, the Apocrypha, including books from the Ethiopic Bible, the first and second books of Adam and Eve, the conflict with Satan, the Prodigal Church, rescuing spirituality from religion, the Book of Jasher, the J.H. Parry text in modern English, the Encyclopedia of Lost and Rejected Scriptures, the life and times of Jesus from child to God, including the Infancy Gospels, and more. If you love learning and you feel compelled to understand these lost holy books, we invite you to join us today with Joseph Lumpkin. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Joseph Lumpkin to It's Rainmaking Time. Good day, sir.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
Well, I'm overwhelmed. I thought there's only one Bible and that's it.
Well, a lot of people in the West think so. And according to your denomination, you will claim that there's 66 books, or you might claim, if you're Catholic, that there's 66 plus the Apocrypha. But actually, Christendom worldwide spans a lot of books, and around, well, over 90 in all, if you combine all of the books of all of the different churches, including the Orthodox churches.
What does canon mean, for those of us who are not trained to understand what that is, have no background?
Canon actually was a building term at one time. It meant to meet the measure. It was a measuring staff. And it came to be to mean a book that came up to the measure, in this case the measure of the church that was in charge at the time when the canon was set. And, of course, in Constantine's time, Constantine was trying to bring Christianity into a unity, because it's a whole lot better to control and reign over people in unity. So he set about to bring us a particular group of books with a particular message and a kind of direction of the faith, and canon was set.
What does that mean, that it was overlorded, almost the expression or the translation of what we now know as the Bible was managed? Those messages were managed?
That's exactly what it means. And although the history, we're going to be kind of simplistic on the history, it will certainly, I think, make some readers wake up and go, We have a group of books, a library, that existed at the time. And that's very important. It existed at the time because other books have been found that may really have been considered for canon at that time, but they weren't available. So you have a group of people that he brought together, the Orthodox and the mainline church, we might say, and different factions of it, and different people believed different things. There were some Gnostics in there, and all of these groups that came together, and some believe that Jesus was the Son of God, but not God. Some people believe that he came in the flesh. Some people believe he was just a spirit that was somehow embodied, but not corporeally. And you had all of these things going on in all of these books. So Constantine brought these people together, and he said, basically, bring me a church in unity. And so they went through these books, and a lot of it was pretty simple. Those books that the church was reading mostly at the time, found entertaining and influential, that did not defy the theology of the mainline churches. They were accepted. And canon was built upon that. You got an idea of the theology that you believe in, and you're going to throw out the books that don't espouse your particular line of theology. But all of the churches weren't included in that. Churches evolved outside of that or beyond that, such as the Orthodox Ethiopian Church, one of the oldest in the world, and its canon has 81 books. Part of that canon is the book of Enoch, which is called the first book of Enoch because there were two other Enochs found after that, totally different books. And they included the book of Jubilees in it also. So when we open up our 66-book Bible, we should consider that older Christianities than ours have 81 books or other books.
How profound is that in terms of how we translate what the messages were and are?
In my opinion, it is quite profound. It is profound in several different arenas. First of all, the book of Enoch, called the Ethiopian Enoch or First Enoch, is quoted word for word in Jude. We're not talking about a paraphrase. We're talking about an entire paragraph that was quoted in the book of Jude from the book of Enoch. So when they found the book of Enoch, the first knee-jerk reaction was, oh, look, this book was written after the New Testament and stole from the New Testament. But they found books that were dated back beyond that. And they finally settled on the fact that it was written around 200 BC. And that both Peter and Jude were sitting there reading the book of Enoch, considering it to be authoritative, as they wrote the New Testament. And they formed our belief in angels and demons and even the very messiahship of Jesus was influenced by this book of Enoch. So when people that I knew said, why are you messing with a book that's not canon? I said, it isn't to you, but it is to them. And besides, when you read Jude, you are reading Enoch.
Why would Enoch be in Jude and not acknowledged as a separate book? That's the part I don't understand.
Well, my opinion is it just simply did not set well. Part of it did not set well. And I guess I can explain this by saying that the book of Enoch is, part of it is kind of a tour of heaven and what Enoch saw and how the angels fell. And it is an expansion off of some of Genesis. And they thought that it diverged too much, and so it just simply wasn't included. But you see, these decisions are quite subjective. And that's, I think, the important thing. Our Bible was compiled through some subjectivity. I believe that this fits. I don't believe that that fits. And if your Christianity is more open-minded, then the book fits very, very well, which is why it's included in some canon and sometimes it's not.
Why are there 3 books of Enoch? Why the Slavonic and the Hebrew books of Enoch, and how do they diverge from the Ethiopian book of Enoch?
That's an excellent question, and it points towards something called a midrash, which is a type of writing. If you believe that the Bible is very, very literal, it says exactly what it is supposed to say and nothing more, nothing less, and here is the story. Then when Enoch was translated, when he was taken up to heaven and he did not die, then it opens up this whole level of storytelling, you might say. What did he see? What was he doing up there? What was happening in heaven? And so the second and third books of Enoch are an expansion off of that. See, we've already established that the first book of Enoch is contained in the Ethiopic Orthodox Bible. It was written around 200 BC and discovered